Dear students, good morning. Again, we are starting with the physics class of physics class for the class 8 basically, but it would be helpful for the class 6, 7 and the O-level preparing examinees, as well as the other English medium students, those who are getting the eager interest on the physics. So this today we'll discuss on the electricity, more about the mains. As we discuss is the last class, the mains electricity. Today we'll discuss a little bit elaborately about the, and again we are uh, following the book of Stephen Popples, and in this crisis moment of COVID-19, so we will go through the book based classes, not the traditional classes with the blackboards, because we don't have enough time to getting preparation to get the preparation of the final exams or the second term or the midterm exams. So that's why we are taking the book based uh, classes for the help of the students, that they can take the preparation rapidly. So in this chapter, more about mains, we have segmented the chapter in the five categories, five ways, that you have also the book has been illustrated in the five ways, and we have just marked it down. Before having the memories or memorization on any chapters, you need to segmented the chapter or the segments, and that you can learn easily. That this chapter is segmented in this five parted like this, that the connecting in parallels, two-way switches, safety measures, and more about AC or DC current pattern, how it generates or how it appears like this, and what is the basic difference of the AC and DC, and the main current, mains or currents voltage, what's the relations of the voltage and currents. A little bit illustration is given here in your book, and we'll discuss a little bit, as well as the question answer sessions and given here in a book. So now we'll start the basic classes. Connecting parallel, the last chapter, the last segments, we have learned the mains electricity, that we got the three part of the or the two part of the main electricity. One is live and one is the neutral, and other wire is joint for the earthing, the earth wires, and the fuses, a few things we have learned. And now this is, in this chapter we'll discuss elaborately the connecting in parallel. Why parallel? Because whenever the main supply comes to your house or a office or a industry, so it need to use in the several ways, not a one bulb would be glow by this supply. This supply is used for the several things like the kettles, like the AC, computers, generators, and the refrigerators, cookers, and several fans, and several things, the mobile chargers like this. So the the supply current should be divided. So it should be divided in parallelly, because if the parallel connection is one is switched off, and this is the switch off circuit like this, that's the open circuit is called the switch off, and the closed circuit is the switch on. So this open circuit doesn't glow the bulb, but the closed circuit is glowing the bulb. So you can individually operate the circuit. That's why the main supply is divided in parallel from the switchboard, and for the conveniency it was given the parallel lines for the switch. And when the bulbs is connected in parallel, and in this your book what is written here, the full supply, the switch off independently, then switch on and off independently. So the parallel correction you can underline in your book like this way. It would be helpful to you for the memorization or the understanding or realization. In your house, the electric supply cables branches into several parallel circuits. For the lights, cooker, I have told it earlier, and the main sockets you need to put it round mark. In the consumer unit, it's a new term for you. The consumer unit means the fuse boxes. Whenever the main enters in a house, there would be a there would be a socket board, and the board is called the consumer unit, and it would have with the fuses for the each and every rooms. These circuits for, say, this is a bulb, this is a fan, this is a say plug point for the heater or mobile charger, like this. So these kinds of parallel circuits may have in the other rooms. So may have in the other rooms, and this is the other three rooms, and these are connected in the same supply, and whenever the supply is divided in the three part, one is here, one is here, and one is here. So there is a socket board, there is lot of fuses here, these are called, this box is called the consumer unit. So this is a new term. So consumer unit, each circuit passes through a fuse or a circuit breaker. This is a new term. This is fuse or a circuit breaker. The fuse or circuit breaker, though this is connected with the or, but the fuse and the circuit breaker is used for the same purposes, but they works in the different way. The fuse is, once it was broken or one it was gone, it should be replaced, but the circuit breaker need not to replace. It can again start with pulling up the switches, because this is have the switches circuit breaker. Whenever the current is too much high, here is the thing, each circuit passes through a fuse in a circuit breaker. The circuit breaker is automatic switch. Circuit breaker is automatic switch which turns off the current is too high. Whenever the current is too high, the switch is off and you cannot on it. But unlike a fuse, it can be reset. The circuit breaker can be reset, but the fuse cannot be reset. It is just need to change from that circuit. You need to, there is a fuse, you have seen it, the fuse is like this, like this, there is a wire in between here. So you have seen it, the fuse is like this, this is a porcelain cover, this is a metal cover, two parted, and you saw it in the plug point, in the earlier chapter. This is the thing, that fuse, this is the fuse, you know, the fuse is here, this is the fuse, the previous chapter segments. So now this is the basic difference of the fuse and the switch. You have got it. And now the two-way switch. What does it mean? Sometimes the one bulb need to be on or off with two switches, because whenever in the downer stairs you hear, and if you go the upper stairs, you need to switch on from the downer stairs, and you need to switch off from the upper stairs. After crossing the stairs, you need to